Welcome to On the Chain.
So this is from Jeremy Hogan. So we've got here, there should be an opt-out of SEC protection for wouldn't that be nice? Let's opt out of them protecting us. Why? Because Gary Gensler says, check out SEC Investor Ed's Investor Bulletin, crypto asset interest bearing accounts. What? All right, we'll open that in a minute. Kind of like how you can opt out of extended warranties. I kind of like the idea. Like, can we opt out of the SEC altogether? I mean, how great would that be? Be like, SEC, we kind of want to opt out, please. So let's see, crypto asset interest bearing account. Let's see what he has to say on this. This will be interesting. It's from February 14th. The SEC's Office of Investor Education and Advocacy and the Division of Enforcement's Retail. You like that? I love their enforcement. The Retail Strategy Task Force are issuing this investor bulletin, critical bulletin, to educate investors about risks with accounts that pay interest on crypto asset deposits. So the title here, crypto asset interest bearing account. So you would look at this, say, wow, maybe they're doing something positive. But then you get in, say, we need to educate these investors about the risks about these. Okay, so what? Okay, let's see. Crypto assets, including so-called cryptocurrencies, so-called. Oh my God. You got to love how they write this. So-called cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, tokens, and other digital assets have been of increasing interest to retail investors over the last few years. This investor bulletin highlights the risk that may be involved in a recent financial product related to crypto assets. Let's see. Recent financial product related to crypto assets, an interest-bearing account for crypto asset holdings. Not the same as bank deposits. Don't confuse your crypto asset holdings in these interest-bearing accounts. Don't confuse that with a bank deposit. These products may sound similar to interest-bearing accounts with a bank or credit union, but investors need to be aware that these crypto asset-related accounts are not as safe as bank or credit union deposits. Really, that's possible. Banks and credit unions are regulated by both federal and state banking regulators. Banking rules limit the amount of risk that banks and credit unions are allowed to take with your deposited funds. Okay, that's true. These rules are designed to decrease the possibility that your bank or credit union becomes insolvent and unable to provide you your funds when you want to withdraw those funds. Now, imagine if there was a run on cash right now. Let's say inflation starts skyrocketing and there's a run on the banks and everybody runs to the banks and they want to start taking their money out. All of a sudden, there's no money in the accounts. And let's say all of a sudden banks start going belly up. They start closing and you have tons and tons of people that are trying to access their money all at the same time. Now, although that it would be insured and backed up at the FDIC, you still don't have your money. So, I mean, but here, in addition, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and National Credit Union Administration provide an additional level of protection by insuring your deposit with a bank or federal credit union, should your bank or credit union. Now, some of these groups out there, they're not FDIC. We all know that. There is a level of risk investing in crypto asset. Everybody knows that. There is a level of risk investing in these companies that are providing a crypto asset with interest. There is some level of risk, but they also have done some due diligence as much as we can look into them for, and they've taken out insurance, third-party insurance. Others like Bitrue that I believe are still self-insuring. Now, I don't know, so you're going to stake your crypto. You can leave it in your wallet. There are some, potential risks. There's risk with a lot of different things. Now, you look at crypto as kind of an investment you throw in there, and everyone says, if you're, you have to look at your risk tolerance. Right now, we're not at a phase where crypto is exactly like currency, but at the same time, so there's a level of risk. but there's also a level of risk right now in our fiat. What's the risk in holding fiat? Inflation, out of control government spending, governments that aren't properly regulating our financial markets, and they're printing money like it's water. And so when they're printing money like it's water, then when inflation skyrockets, the value of your fiat currency that's sitting in your bank doesn't go up, it goes down, it decreases. And right now we're seeing massive inflation. Look at the cost of gas. What gas cost us a year ago is half of what it costs us today. So our dollar gets you less gas today than it did a year ago. It gets you less milk, gets you less bread, gets you fewer eggs. It doesn't go as far as it did a year ago. Even rent is skyrocketing all over the place. So rent, your dollar went a lot further when it came to rent just 1 year ago. And that's the risk with fiat. Now, it's the same risk that we'd have with cryptocurrency. However, cryptocurrency, as a direct comparison to the fiat currency, has actually increased more over the past year than fiat has. So if fiat is going down and cryptocurrency is going up, what does that tell you? What does that tell you when you have somebody like that CEO from People that's saying the reason why they are so excited about using a platform like RippleNet and utilizing ODL is because they can have instant settlement. They can move money efficiently. They can move money cheaply. And these guys are compliant and they're utilizing a blockchain solution and they understand the benefit of that blockchain solution. These guys, where they go, and so here you have it gets to a point where you look at this and you're like, do they really know what they're talking about? Do they really care to know what they're talking about? They're focused on things and they're highlighting and underscoring. So maybe, there are a lot of people will say, hey, I thought that those accounts were FDIC insured. But here, what's the risk? Crypto assets held in interest-bearing account may be used to invest in various crypto asset-related products, schemes, or other activities, including lending programs in which crypto assets are loaned to borrowers. The interest being paid to you is based on these investment activities. These investment activities by the company are subject to the same risks that you are subject to with crypto assets: volatility, liquidity, or illiquidity in the crypto asset market. Interesting. The risk that the company holding your asset may fail or go bankrupt. Okay. What if you buy stock? Now, if you buy stock and the company goes bankrupt, what's the risk that you take in investing in that stock? I mean, this whole unpredictability of our fiat right now, changes in regulation by federal, state, or foreign government that may restrict the use. Okay, so that's saying something. What are they alluding to? The inability to be made whole should fraud, default, or mistake occur. So, they obviously, I mean, yes, there's fraud, but guess what? How are you going to be made whole if there's fraud and you get defrauded out of fiat? What if you default? What if there's a mistake and then you have to fight to get it back? Now, fortunately, in some scenarios, if you're using an exchange, there is a way to get to get compensated. They are looking out for the users of the platform, the investors on the platform, potential fraud, technical glitches, hackers, or malware. Wait a minute. But this is everywhere. I mean, hackers and malware are impacting people regardless of what type of currency you're using. Your holdings of crypto assets may be adversely affected should any of these risks be realized in the company's investment activities. Okay, well, great. This is just awesome. I think great. SEC enforcement. The SEC announced charges against BlockFi with regards to their interest account. Now they have these charges, but again, they're ignoring the retail investor. Are they? According to the SEC, investors lent crypto assets to BlockFi through the um, BlockFi interest account. BlockFi used investors' crypto assets to make investments, including loans to institutional investors, and investors received interest paid monthly. What do they find? That they were securities. These are securities. So what does a bank do when you have a bank that's you're getting interest? Are you buying an unregistered security when you're oh my god, if you put your money in a bank account, is that an unregistered security now? BlockFi did not register its offering. So, yes, if they didn't come in, they're operating outside the law. In addition, according to the order, BlockFi made materially false and misleading statements on its website concerning its collateral practice, thus understating the degree of risk in its lending program. Now, this is the one area I say, you know what? This component here makes sense to me because I saw that on multiple platforms where they don't really highlight the idea of the collateral, that there is a degree of risk when you're borrowing that you do need to top up. There's not enough discussion or and it's there. You have to find all the details on it. However, it's not like on page one. Anyhow, that's enough of that.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.